Welcome to episode number 18 of Life Without Cravings. In this episode, I'm going to show you the 4 most common reasons for why you don't make the decision to quit the carbs. And of course, what you can do about it, because there's always a solution to all the problems. And I'm just going to give them to you quickly and then tell you how that is. So we have 4 things. The first one is that you are stuck in confusion. The second one is that you are stuck in doubt. Third one, self-pity, and then we have fear. As you might have noticed, all of these are emotions, and all of them are emotions that lead to inaction. So as long as you stay here, as long as you're stuck with that emotion, you are not going to get shit done. You're not going to quit, and you're most likely not going to get other shit done in your life either. And these 4 are really, really common. So let's start with confusion. We like being confused because when we're confused, it's actually like a safety blanket. It's a really nice, cozy safety blanket. And because we don't have to change, we don't have to make any effort, we can just think about things and allow ourselves to feel confused. So when it comes to diet, we like to say things like, we don't really know how to do it, or we don't know what foods we have to eat, or we need to do more research before we commit to it because we don't have enough knowledge. So we can't get started because we need to know everything before we get started. Or we might think that we need a meal plan, but we don't know how to make a meal plan. But then we don't want to pay someone to make a meal plan for us because we should really be able to make a meal plan, because in theory, I'm actually capable of doing it. And then you just end up in this circle argument where you're just being stuck in confusion. And it's really convenient because nothing has to change. You never need to make any decisions, and you never need to put any effort in. It's just nothing happens. And you just be, well, I was going to do that, but, and there are lots of buts. This needs to happen before that. But right now I can't take action because I need to do this, or I need to suss that out, or this or that. So we can just sit there and we can be miserable in our confusion without feeling as if it's actually our fault. Because we have the intention of taking action once all of these things are sorted. It's just that we don't sort them. And then we just have confusion all the time. And it's actually quite nice because then we don't have to take any responsibility, right? And then we have doubt. How many times have you made a decision and then gone back on that decision and ended up still wanting to follow through with your initial decision that you made? I mean, I have, I admit, I've done it. It happens all the time. And I'm going to give you a really interesting example that I have seen many times. I have had many people, they come and consult with me and they say they want some help to quit the carbs. And then I'm asking them, like, are you really truly ready to quit? And are you prepared to invest both time and money into doing it? Make it happen. Because without you actually really wanting it, it's not going to happen. And they like super enthusiastic and they're telling me that they were ready to quit yesterday and this is like the final drop. Now it's going to happen. And they just need some help doing it. And they really convince me that I'm the person that can help them, and they are so ready to do this. And then we agree that we're going to start on a certain date, maybe in a week's time or 3-4 days or whatever. And then on the morning of our first session, I get an email saying that they can no longer afford it. And this is very, very, very rarely the case. It might be for like 1 in 100 maybe. Most of the time, it has absolutely nothing to do with the money, and it has all to do with the doubt. It's either doubt that they are going to be able to do it because they don't trust themselves, or they might be doubting whether my program is actually going to be able to help them, or maybe they just doubt my ability to help them. So it might be one of those 3. That's all it is. It has absolutely nothing to do with the money. So rather than just going for it and giving it their all and just saying, hey, I'm going to trust Pim, I'm going to trust the program, and I'm just going to do my bit. I'm going to trust myself. I'm going to go all in with this. They just go back and hide under a rock. and they're not going to quit. They're going to keep suffering with the same thing, because every time they give themselves a chance to do it, they're going to go back and start doubting themselves. Because honestly, when you work with me, this might not be the case for everything that you might choose to invest your money in, but when you work with me and you give it your all, you will succeed. And if you wouldn't, this hasn't happened yet, but it's possible that it might happen at some point, that someone is actually giving it their all and not succeed. If that happens, I will give you your full investment back. And I'm pretty vocal about this. If I cannot help you and you really tried, if my program or me, if I can't help you, I'm going to give you your money back. So there's literally no risk involved. So if you thought that it was worth it when you believed that you could do it, however brief that period might have been, doubt is the only thing that is stopping you from getting there. It has absolutely nothing to do with the money. And that's fine for me, but it's not fine for you, because you're the one who's going to be stuck in doubt forever, maybe. Unless you can get yourself out of that mindset, you're not going to stop, because you're going to doubt everything, and you're going to think that, well, I can probably do it on my own. You haven't done it so far, so prove me wrong. Come back and say, I did it on my own. It usually doesn't happen. So let's move on to self-pity, and I'm going to make this really short. We all know there's one person that actually behaves like this, and you might not have all of this, but you might have some of these. So it might be like, oh, my boss is such an asshole, and then I was just having to sit in traffic all day long, coming home from work, and I'm exhausted now. There's literally nothing fun going on in my life. All my friends, they have partners, and I'm just like the single one. I'm single, I'm lonely, I don't have anyone, and no one likes me. But at least I have the carbs. They're always making me feel better. They're my only friend. Right? We all know someone like that, who's just like negative about everything. And if you just listen to it, like I feel depressed just imagining actually talking about my life in that way. If I was seeing everything that was negative in my life and I was putting that into words, whether that is up in my head or actually out loud, Jesus, I would be depressed all the time. Of course you're going to feel like carbs is your only solution if that is the only thing in your life that makes you feel good. And of course you're not going to quit, because if you take away the only thing that you really enjoy, that can get you out of thinking about all these miserable things that are going on in your life, there's no way that you're going to quit. So how you look at your life is massively important. So your boss might still be an asshole, but you don't have to think about it. I'm going to talk about that soon. Let's just go through fear as well. So fear is a funny one. I found that fear can come in so many shapes, so I won't be able to cover them all, but a few major ones are like fear of failing, because we don't want to fail again. We've done it so many times, and when we fail, we just feel humiliated and as we are completely incompetent or unreliable or whatever it might be. And that feels really icky. We don't want to think about that. And every time when we've done it in the past, we have failed. So yeah, let's just fail before we even try, because if I try and fail, it's somehow a lot worse. And then we have the funny ones. I think they're funny because I'm like, what? But I think all of us have a little bit of that inside of us when we really think about it, and it's the fear of success. Because if we are successful, we sort of imagine that people will start talking about us behind our backs, and they might be jealous, they might be saying things about us and think that we are this and that, and we're not going to like it. That's really uncomfortable. And then we get that pressure like, oh my God, I succeeded. Now I'm never allowed to fail again. So now there's this pressure building up on us. So now we have to succeed in everything that we do in life because we succeed in quitting the carbs. And I just can't cope with that. So let's not even try that. Let's fail ahead of time again. It's much, much easier than having to go through all of this. I really don't want to do that. right? And then it can also be something that I've seen, I start to see it more and more often, actually. It can be a fear of not knowing who you are. Like, that we're so tied, our identity is so tied to the eating of carbs that we don't even know who we would be if we remove this from our lives. So who would I be without the carbs? Like, if I'm the person who's always baking for my friends and I'm bringing dessert to all the family gatherings, if I don't do that, maybe I have no value. And that's terrible. Like, let's not go there. I'm going to continue doing that because it's for the greater good. It's for my relationships with my family, with my friends, and let's just keep the peace. Of course you're not going to go there. If you think that somehow you're going to lose all of this if you quit the carbs, you're not going to want to quit then. And then it can be things like fear of not fitting in anymore, and just that people are going to start leaving you out of things because if you're not eating carbs, they can't invite you to the, I don't know, chips and salsa movie night or whatever. I don't know. It's just like we have irrational thoughts when we are scared of stuff. And it might be fear of not being able to do fun stuff anymore because we can't imagine that it's going to be fun without the carbs. Or even fear about, God, I have hairs tickling my eyes. Or even fear of not being able to join the fun stuff because we think that it will be triggering to us, and if we do that, then we're gonna fail. So we're gonna fall off our diets and end up in a binge. Now we're scared of actually even doing it, even if it's available to us. So there are lots of, different flavors of fear, and I think most people experience one or another at times. So what can we do about this? Like, you need to stop it. It's as easy as that. It's not as easy as that, but that's the core of it. Like, you need to stop faffing around and allow yourself to indulge in these emotions because it's not leading anywhere. All 4 of these are just leading to more inaction. And you're never going to stop if you let yourself just sit and dwell in self-pity or doubt or whatever it might be. It is not useful to you, not at all. But first of all, it's useful if you can identify what it is that is stopping you, like which of these, or maybe it's a combination of these emotions that you experience. And then you go to work and you reprogram your brain. If you notice that for example, you're often thinking about, I don't know how to do it, or I need to know a little bit more about it, or I need to learn a bit more about it, or I need to talk to someone who's done it, and I need to have 50 billion testimonials to see that it's working before I'm even trying. Then you're stuck in confusion land. Like, I'm confused. I don't know if this is going to work for me, so I can't start. Like, you want to have proof that it works before you have even tried. There is no proof that it's going to work for you, ever. All you have to go on is, if other people have done it, maybe you can do it too. And does the system or whatever it is you have to go through, does that resonate with you? Or does it feel like, no, I would never want to do that? I mean, losing weight is super easy. You just stop eating. At some point, the weight's going to come off. But we don't want to do that because that doesn't resonate with me. I don't want to starve myself just to lose weight. But that's how easy it actually is to lose weight. Just tape your mouth. Nothing goes in there. So you need to start questioning yourself, like, is what you're telling yourself true? Maybe to some degree sometimes. If you truly need knowledge, then yes. Then just go and get the knowledge. Schedule some time to do it, and then get started. And then continue when you have the knowledge. So stop making excuses once you have the knowledge. And if you think that you need the perfect meal plan to be able to do it, then no, you don't. No way. You do not need a perfect meal plan unless you have some weird illness, maybe, where, let's say, eating too much of a specific amino acid or something will make you very sick. But that's not the case for most people. And those people who have those kind of illnesses, they usually have a dietitian actually helping them because they have been diagnosed with it. And that is severe. So for most of you who are watching this, that's not your problem. So get over it, get started. It doesn't need to be perfect. See if you get the results that you want. If you don't, tweak it. Tweak whatever you're doing and try to improve the results that you're getting. That's how you get there. That's how research is done. Do your own research on your own body and how you are working. Because you are unique. Everyone's unique. We can use the same systems, but you might need to tweak it a little bit to suit you. So keep finding the solutions that work for you. And if you're someone who doubts your ability or doesn't believe that the solution is going to work for you, and you just like going back and forth between a yes and a no, just stop it. That's so unhelpful to you. You're not going to find the right answer by doubting. What you have to do is to make a decision and stick with it. Like you can go with the one that feels maybe slightly more right than the other, or you can go with the other one that feels slightly less right. It doesn't matter. It's not important which one you decide. What's important is that you do decide. Because indecision, doubt, not going to work for you. You won't know if it's the wrong decision until you have tried it. So just try that. Make a decision, stick with it until you know if it was the right one or not. Right? Self-pity. The truth is that when you are indulging in self-pity, it actually gives you a dopamine hit. It feels good to feel sorry for yourself. And then you have the carbs, and that just like makes it feel even better. You just have to stop that shit, seriously, and start becoming more solutions focused. Self-pity is one of the worst when it comes to not doing something, because self-pity can never lead to actions that you need to take to actually do something. So what if your boss is an asshole? Are you going to let your boss dictate your life and make you feel this awful? Are you really going to give them the power over you? If you do, that's your choice, but that's on you. That's not on them. You can't blame your boss for feeling bad because it's all on you. You have made the decision to let them make you feel this way. You are the only one who can decide whether you're going to feel that way or not. It's not your boss's fault. If you don't like your job, if you don't like the traffic when you're commuting to work or whatever, get a new job. You don't have to stick with that job. You know what? You never have to stick with a job unless you want to. You might have reasons that you think, like, yeah, I do have to do that because I have a family and I have a mortgage and I need to pay that. Yeah, maybe. But actually you do have a choice because you can still quit your job and you can find a new one. What's stopping you there might be fear. But you can do it. Are you prepared to gamble with the worst case scenario, or are you going to get your shit together and get another job? It's completely up to you. There are solutions if you really want to try it. But you're never going to get a new job if you go to an interview and you just tell them about how awful everything in your life is. That's not attractive. Not to anyone. So just learn how to take responsibility for your life. It's no one else's job. That's all on you. Always. Okay? Last one. Fear. Fear feels awful. But no matter what it is that you are scared of, the best advice I have for you is to feel the fear and do it anyway. There's actually a book with that title, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. I have listened to it and I think it was pretty good. So if you want to go and get it, you can find it. I got it from Audible, but I'm sure you can find it everywhere. Fear is just an emotion in your body. It cannot hurt you. It cannot stop you from doing anything. What is stopping you from doing it is your unwillingness to feel the fear. So if you're completely okay with feeling fear, there is nothing stopping you from moving forward. Right? So if your inaction is caused by fear, just decide that you're going to feel the fear and make it happen. Because on the other side of fear is actually success. That's how you get success. You just feel it and you do it anyway. you will not be successful unless you're willing to feel all of these uncomfortable emotions. And I can promise you that you can try as many times as you like, you can find as many solutions as you like, you can find different coaches or different people on YouTube that you can listen to, or whatever it might be. But if you're not willing to feel those emotions, guess what? You're going to be where you are now. You're just going to be a few years older. And you might have some regret on top of that as well because you didn't do it. So don't do that. It's not fun. I've spent a lot of time not doing things, and I'm freaking done with that. So if you are sick of not taking the next step towards quitting the carbs, today is actually the last day that you can sign up for quitting for the last time and take advantage of the early bird discount. So I'm not going to talk about this program in detail here right now, but it's a group program where you will learn everything that you need to learn. You will get all the tools, all the methods, you will get all the theory behind everything in the video course, and then you will get coaching by me and help answering your questions in our weekly group sessions or in our private community, which will be on Discord. And you will also get 6 private one-to-one sessions with me where we can discuss things in more detail if we need to. So you're literally getting it all. You get the best of both worlds. So if you're someone who just wants to commit to 12 weeks of learning a new skill that will just help you change your life forever and know that you will never again have to struggle with the carbs, this is the program for you. And it's currently dirt cheap as well. If you want to quit, but you think that you want more than that and you need more help and more time with a coach, I still do private coaching and you can still do that with me, but it is a bit more expensive. So just keep that in mind. But if that's what you want to do, then send me an email at pim@pimjansson.com. So if you're interested in the group, go to pimjansson.com/group. I will put the link in the description as well. You'll find all the information that you need there and you can just have a look at it in your own time. But just know that on the 29th, the doors are not closed, but the early bird price is actually closed and the price will go up. So that was all that I have for you today, and I will see you again next week. Bye!